is to talk a little bit more about why this item, the Raise LA Fund, is so important to me. We have made, as a region, significant investments in our public transit infrastructure through the funding that we've been spending at Metro and a number of efforts that we've been trying to make here at the city to try and encourage people to get out of their cars and take transit, and yet the use of public transit continues to be a fairly uncomfortable thing. Most of our bus shelters, for example, most of our bus stops do not have bus shelters, and that's after many, many years of trying to make those investments. This particular motion creates a dedicated fund that comes from our new bus shelter program that will focus on infrastructure investments across initially our shelters and then our other amenities that can make our sidewalks safer, cooler, better places to be. And I'm really, really excited about it. The city has really suffered from not having a dedicated revenue stream for these kinds of infrastructure investments in the past. And now, as we're on the cusp of a new program with our Transito contract and the commitment to building these bus shelters across the entire city, I'm hopeful that having a dedicated source of revenue for this will actually enable us to reach our very ambitious goals of having bus shelters across all of our bus stops in the city and get us closer towards making the use of public transit as comfortable and safe as possible for all of our residents. So I strongly encourage an aye vote today and hope that all of us will soon see covered bus shelters at all of our bus stops across all of our districts.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Blumenfield.
Thank you. I join you in rising in strong support of this, items 26 and 27. This is something I've been working on for a long time. When I was the chair of Public Works prior to budget, I worked really hard to get this over the finish line, to get us a street amenities program. Because over the past 10 years, the city installed about 25 new bus shelters across the entire city. 25 in a decade. That is pathetic and embarrassing. And it was a function of our contract, it was a function of bureaucracy, a whole bunch of things, but that's being turned around. These items are about providing shade, shelter, real-time bus information, and other amenities for transit riders in the city. Under the Street Transit Amenities Program, we plan to install 3,000 bus shelters across the city at stops that serve at least 75% of transit riders in each district. Mayor Garcetti, former Mayor Garcetti, and the City Council approved this contract with Transito a year ago. A year ago. Under that contract, the city is responsible for the capital costs of the transit shelter, and the city receives about 60% of the advertising revenue. It's taken too long to get to this place, but we are at this place, and this is a very good place to be so that we can actually have the money that's made get plowed back into creating more bus shelters. That's what it's about. You think about, all of us have these experiences. In my district, it gets to be 120 degrees in the summer. And people are standing out there without any bus shelter. And our riders are our most vulnerable Angelenos. So it's really important that we have this new program that's going to generate revenue, and that revenue is going to be dedicated to creating more shelters. So I rise in strong support and urge an aye vote.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Padilla.
You know, I was recently briefed on exactly what the potential is for this bus shelter program, and I'm very happy, very impressed. My district also sometimes reaches close to 100 and 110, and a lot of the low-wage workers in my district utilize the bus to make short trips all the time. This is way overdue, something I'm very excited about. What I did want to say is that as we build these out, I really hope that we can build it correctly. I've already made a list of the locations where I know a bus shelter would do well in my district, as well as the metro routes that I know are heavily used, such as the 152, and I appreciate the collaboration with the parties that are responsible for this and taking my advice on where it would be best to build them. But what I didn't like was that somewhere in the process in the conversation, I asked whether these new shelters that are going to have a lot of technology on them would have phone chargers. And it was brought to my attention that we were going to be putting phone chargers because we didn't want the homeless or the unsheltered to be utilizing them. And I think that that's an incredibly wrong perspective as we build out. If we're going to build it out right. And we shouldn't allow for the unhoused to dictate us doing things correctly. So I really hope that as we build these out, that we do consider adding those amenities such as phone chargers, and also considering adding other amenities such as the ability to maybe get water fountains, or some sort of new technology related to also allowing folks to refill up a water bottle. So I just wanted to put that out there. I will be in support of this, but I also want it to be known that I'm going to be following this, and I want to make sure that we do this right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I see no other members on the queue, so let's go ahead and open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
13 ayes, and for the record, the ordinance is adopted for this item.
Very good. Thank you very much.